Welcome to my Instructional Strategies video for PIDP 3250. My name is Kelly Kruper. Role play. What is role play? In role playing, students act out characters in a predefined situation. Role playing allows students to take risk-free positions by acting in hypothetical situations. What is it you need to be aware of to make role-playing an effective instructional tool? In role-playing, students take on a character, learning and acting as they would in a typical setting. The setting should be as close to reality as possible. The instructor can draw on real scenarios in which they have experience. Role-playing stimulates students both socially and intellectually. It helps the students connect the lesson to its purpose in real life. It helps students develop skills in communication, self-awareness, and problem-solving. Role-playing emphasizes the social nature of learning. In what context would this strategy work best? In areas where simulation is a requirement of the training, such as for pilots or nurses, ambulance attendants or doctors. In customer service-based areas, such as business or sales. When you want the students to practice hands-on skills to help them develop expertise in their area of education. If you wish to stimulate discussion about complex issues. In areas where special equipment training is required, such as construction or maintenance. When you wish the students to practice in a safe environment. What are the limitations of this strategy? Role-playing could evoke strong emotions in students. It's important to bring them back to the lesson when the role-playing scenario is complete. Students can feel uncomfortable. They may feel as though they are on display. Students can have exaggerated improvisation and act inappropriately. Students' need to observe must be explained clearly, otherwise the lesson will be inadequate. Students who are self-conscious may have a hard time actively learning. They may be too focused on their feelings. Participants could also overact or distort their roles. Some common mistakes that trainers make when using role play. By making a case too long, too hard to understand, not engaging, or relevant. By not providing enough time for learners to finish a task. By creating a situation that is too complex or involving too many role players. Or by giving too many instructions at once, students may have a hard time remembering. Did you know? Research has shown that integrating experiential learning activities in the classroom increases interest in the subject matter and understanding of course content. So what are the advantages of this strategy? Role-playing promotes verbal, physical, communicative, and interpersonal skills and intuitive thinking. It helps raise the student's interest in a topic, as they can then distinguish the lesson to real life. It gives them time to reflect on knowledge learned and to embed the lessons. They can focus on scenarios that are very real in nature, better preparing them for real life. It facilitates an active learning environment and active understanding. Some other advantages are it teaches empathy and understanding of different perspectives to students. It allows them to walk in the shoes of the decision makers. It engages students in hands-on experience and increases involvement so students are not passive recipients of the instructor's knowledge. When is it best to use this strategy? When issues have an obvious connection to the participant's real world. When you need to reality test a model or an approach to assess the student's learning. To identify factors or issues in a problem. To provide an initial step in preparing or trying out difficult conversations. Some examples of when I would use role-playing in the classroom. Some emotional scenarios that you may want to act out, such as in healthcare. where nurses may need to communicate or deliver unfortunate news to patient families. A complex scenario such as this would be best handled if a participant was able to practice the scenario first. Also in physical scenarios, when they have to do hands-on training with patients, such as providing CPR to a patient or taking a patient's X-ray. What is the role for the educator using this strategy? They should set up the scenario for the students, act as a model, and demonstrate the scenario, providing information and desired outcomes. They should provide relevant experiences for the students and ensure the students understand the lesson and its purpose. Make sure students feel comfortable and trust that the students are capable. They should monitor and encourage their students and be open-minded and understand that the students may not succeed. What is the role of the learner in this strategy? To be involved in direct participatory learning, to negotiate the expectations with interpretation, and observe using their imagination, then absorb the information, contribute and interact with each other, and display learned skills from theory lessons. How to deal with any ethical, cultural, or gender implications pertaining to this strategy. Should make sure that you discuss the scenarios with your students and ensure that they understand the purpose of the role-playing experience. If you're using human volunteers, ensure that the volunteers are aware of their environment and any specifics to the role play. You should take time to debrief. Identify any major issues once the role-playing scenario is done. Have the students self-evaluate. What could they have done differently, or what might they have done better? Repeat or retest with another scenario if needed. Some tips to help make the role-playing exercises more beneficial to students. Make sure to arrange the room to appropriately stage the simulation. Be strategic on how you assign students. If doing role-playing in a group setting, you may want to place timid students with non-timid students. Outline their behavior etiquette and clearly explain the steps so they know how it will unfold. Identify the core concept and provide a clear focus. Set the stage and establish the mood. Give as much control to the students as they can handle. And step in to pose challenging or relevant questions. Role-playing is an effective way to actively involve students in their learning process. Remember, role-playing can help students interact among each other and practice in scenarios that are relevant to their learning objective. But most importantly, have fun. Thank you.